Good evening, welcome to the latest live edition of Last Bell Boxing, proudly sponsored by LW Liftings and SC Travel. Joined as always by regulars. Carl, how are you, pal?
Yep, all good, all good. Looking forward to the show.
Daz?
Hey, mate.
All right there, mate?
Yeah, not bad.
And all the way from Sweden, Hakan, how are you, pal?
Hiya.
Little bit of a delay, but we'll cope. We'll cope. Right, let's crack straight on to. We'll do a quick review. There's a lot going on this week, by the way. Anyone watching the sidebar, we've got lots of little topics to cover this week because there's not a massive fight card this weekend. So we're going to start off with a little bit of review of last weekend's cards. And I think the best place to start is the Hamza Shiraz Liam Williams card. I don't know about you, but we all had a bit of an opinion last week, and we thought that Shiraz had come out with a win. But Daz, I'll come to you first. Was you expecting Liam Williams to be that shot?
No. I'll be honest. I didn't expect it to go past 5 rounds. If I'm honest,
He was getting dropped with jabs though, Daz.
Yeah. I mean, Shiraz's jabs are absolute ramrod. But yeah, it was quite sad to see. To be fair, it's quite like Liam Williams.
Yeah, I agree.
So it were a bit uncomfortable seeing that. I hope I hope he takes a bit of time and evaluates it, and it'd be nice to think that he's earned a few quid from his fights, and listen, go and pass your knowledge on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope that happens, Daz, because I hate to see it when fighters feel like they're chasing something.
Yeah.
They're chasing that one last fight, and because the last one didn't go quite to plan, that they feel like they need one more to go out on the high. I hope that isn't the case with Liam Williams. I hope he realises that now's the right time, and he doesn't push it any further. What I was a little bit disappointed with, I didn't see most of the fight, but I've seen the highlights of what happened in the fight. What I did see was the punditry afterwards, which I thought was absolutely dreadful. And I'm going to call it out as I see it, boys. What was Steve Bunce talking about? Going on about Liam. He's going on about Liam Williams not being shot and Hamza Shiraz being an absolute monster in the division.
Well, I didn't see any of this, so you have to enlighten me what was said.
Yeah, and Carl Frampton was doing exactly the same thing. They obviously saw a different fight than I saw, because Liam Williams clearly wasn't Liam Williams. That's not the Liam Williams that we've seen that's been a. Carl, I'll come to you, mate. What did you make of those comments?
I just think Liam Williams was shot. So I find TNT quite biased anyway, from being brutally honest, towards their stable. So, it was silly comments. Like I said, jabs were putting him on his backside, weren't they? I know he's got a beast of a jab, but Liam Williams doesn't need to get in the ring again. Not on the back of that performance. Too easy to find. It was sad to see, to be honest. That's the way I'll finish by saying it was sad to see. One fight too many.
Yeah, I got to agree with you, mate. Hakan, Shiraz is obviously a very good fighter. Don't get me wrong. There's now talk of him going in against the likes of Ammo Williams. I mean, what would you do with him next?
I would like to see him against Liam Smith.
Oof. Not bad timing. Not very good timing for Smith, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can agree with that. I haven't, but there are a few names out there that would be interesting.
So, comment in the sidebar. Good evening, Leigh. Leigh said he would love to see Shiraz beat the shit out of Eubank Jr.
Say it as you mean it, Leigh. Yeah, there's not a lot of love for you, Chris Eubank, is there, at the minute? Interesting fight, because Shiraz is a massive middleweight.
You'd have to pay a lot of money to get him into the ring, wouldn't there? Eubank Jr. A lot of money.
Well, Eubank Jr.'s not looking to win titles. He don't look like he's looking to progress in the division. He just wants massive money fights, and they seem to be against former champions and fighters in weights below him. I don't understand the tactic. I've never understood the tactic. You know, and that's the way he's kind of played his trade for the last few years. I don't really get it. You know, he's a super middleweight, really. He's not a middleweight anymore. You know, he's coming to the end of his career. He's a very, very big super middleweight as well. Why are you not chasing? Why are you not chasing the dream of fighting Canelo? You know, if you want money fights, that's the one, isn't it? Daz, what would you do with Shiraz next?
I'd definitely, you know, move him up in class. Definitely, you know, listen, unleash him on world stage. Get him in with a fighter who's not past his best, who, you know, who wants to beat him and derail him, and then we'll see. We'll see
what problem though, Dad, with that height, isn't it?
Oh, mate, yeah, listen, you know, he's powerful, his jabs sharp. Oh, bless me. His jab's really sharp. Good fighter. Very good fighter.
Touching on just one more fight on this card, lads, and we'll move on. And that's Anthony Yarde. Didn't break sweat in that 3-round fight. What was the point in that, Cole?
Well, it was obviously just a tick-over fight, wasn't it? You know, there's talk about him. Is it Buatsi who jumped on the ring apron after the fight? You know, so I would suggest that's very close to being done if Buatsi's coming out in public like that. Just a tick-over fight. Fran Warren's well known for these sort of fights, isn't it? Just keep his fighters active. Did we learn anything new about Yarde? No. But I do think Yarde's a better fighter than I probably gave him credit for 12 months ago. I think Yarde beats Buatsi, if I'm honest. Yeah,
I don't disagree. I think Yarde's pressure is going to be too much. I said this about Buatsi last time out, but Yarde's a different fighter to Danaziz. The power is going to be too much, I think. Right. Swiftly moving on to the show that Hakan was at. You were at the Reece Bellotti Liam Dillon fight, weren't you, Hakan?
Yes.
Tell me about that. Tell me about the headliner. I mean, I haven't seen the fight live, Hakan. So, but I'm looking at scorecards, and it looks like Bellotti won the fight pretty easily.
Yes, but it was an all-action fight. I really enjoyed that fight, and I had good seats. So it was a great main event on the Next Gen show.
I caught the last 2 rounds of it, Andy. I caught the last 2 rounds of it, and it looked quite close. On the 2 rounds that I saw after the other card had finished. It was a good fight by all accounts.
Yes, it was. As I said, I really enjoyed that fight. All action, straight from the first round.
Comment in the sidebar. So League says more likely to see Yarde versus Spider in Saudi, in my opinion. It's not a bad shot, Lee. Not a bad shot.
Speaking of Spider, obviously Craig Richards was on this bill as well. Again, Boris Crichton he was in with 7-round stoppage. He's one of those fighters, Craig Richards, that he don't seem to get many headlines. Does do you like that fight, Yarde against Craig Richards?
I prefer to see Yarde against Buatsi.
Me as well.
And I think that's good. I think that'll happen more likely than Yarde v Spider, to be fair.
I think he's talking about the 5 versus 5, though, Dad. There's rumours about. No, but he can't be, can it? Because Spider's with. Who's Spider? Craig Richards with these days, promotion wise?
We're on
Not sure he's got
show, weren't
he?
You're on the Next Gen was Matchroom, weren't it?
So it could well be the Matchroom versus Queensbury then 5 versus 5, right? That's where
Yeah,
it
could be. Yeah, could be.
Would you
Yeah.
rather see Yard against Smith though, if that was the case?
Callum Smith, yeah. In all honesty. Yeah.
Right. Obviously, there's another fight on this card that didn't quite go according to plan. Even though Shannon Ryan got the result she wanted, she got a massive head cut and was asked a lot of questions. Hakan, what were your perspective of this from ringside?
I thought that Shannon Ryan won that fight with a couple of rounds, in my opinion. And I felt that Shannon Ryan was quite good in this fight. I thought it was good. And I hope that we could see Shannon Ryan, Emma Dolan for the British title next. If Emma Dolan's injury will take too long.
So
I think Emma.
I'm just going to put these comments in quickly, Andy, while I can see him. So Leigh Brown says Callum Smith is getting married when the fight's due to take place. That's
I wasn't aware of that.
Rider. And JDM, good evening, JDM, says Yard will fight another can before Buatsa, maybe 2 knowing Sunday. Obviously not a fan of Sunday.
I find it really interesting. I hear what JDM's saying, to be honest. I don't understand. He's been in 2 world title fights now against absolute monsters in the prime, done really well against both of them, come up a little bit short, but he goes from them fights into 6-rounders. What's the point against nobodies? How does that benefit him one little bit?
But remember, lions in the camp.
I don't get it, Carl. I just don't get it, Cole. I've underestimated Yard myself in times gone by. He's clearly shown that he's clearly shown his abilities and the level that he's at in those 2 world title fights. But I just don't get it from a perspective of his game plan. I don't understand how you drop to that level against those fighters, and what does it do for him? He must be getting better spars, Daz.
Yeah, probably is. I think, Tunde and Yard do it their own way, don't they?
Yeah.
It's how they want to do it. So that's it. I don't think it's going to take that, make them change the way they do things.
Couple of comments again. JDM says there's no bridge in yards and matchmaking. And Leigh says they do it to see how many tickets he can shift with his name on it and a yardstick for bigger fights.
I don't really get that. I'm not sure that's right, Leigh.
I'm not sure.
No, I mean, obviously, if he's fighting some unknown in a 6-rounder and then he's fighting Buatsa in, over 12, obviously people are going to, buy tickets for Buatsa, aren't they? You don't need a yardstick. It's a great fight.
Yeah, exactly that.
So another comment, Jam's Boxing Chat. Good evening, Jam's Boxing Chat. Hey, lads, Yard will fight Joshua Buatsa next, as Frank Warren called it a no-brainer last night. So it's surely going to be happening, and it makes business sense.
Yeah. I think that's the one we all want to see, to be honest.
Intriguing, that fight is.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is indeed. Right. I want to move the show swiftly on this week, lads, because we've got lots of topics. So last one, Carl, from last weekend. Last show from last weekend, and that's the GBM show that we attended. Hakan also attended. It was nice to meet you there, mate, for the first time live.
Yeah, you didn't get a drink.
Really nice.
You didn't get me a drink, no, Hakan, did you? Deep
I invited you to join me at my hotel.
No, you waited for the bar to close at the arena and saw it.
Well, I was still upstairs doing interviews when you two were keeping it all friendly, trying to get drinks from a closed bar. Just to let everybody know, there's lots of interviews on the channel from that GBM show. Check it out if you haven't already seen them. Again, a really good show from GBM Sports and Izzy Asif. You can clearly see the production in there. You can clearly see the value that they bring to the boxing world, Carl. Do a few of these big promoters, have they got to be looking over the shoulder?
Yeah, let's just call it out, Andy. Let's not mess around. Boxer are the ones who have got to watch what they're doing, because I think their production and their fight cards recently have been nothing short of poor. So I think GBM are hot on their tails. They've got the Talk Sport YouTube deal. Izzy Asif was very keen to say in our interview that he don't want to be considered just a Sheffield promoter. He wants to be considered bigger than that and multinational. Yep. So I think very interesting that Adam Smith was at the GBM card and that he's not gone back to Sky. That was quite intriguing. So yeah, I would say that Boxer maybe are going to have to up their game a little bit, and that might cost me accreditation with them, but boxing's about opinions.
It is about opinions, mate. I think you're right. They definitely. I mean, they might even not want a massive UK TV deal. They might want to do things their own way, Cole. You never know the way things pan out.
If Sky Sports come to them, they'd rip their arm off, wouldn't they? Come on, let's be honest.
Probably, yeah, probably. But then their hands are tied a little bit about what they can do. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how it pans out there, because they have got really big ambition.
Yeah.
Which you can't knock them for. And a couple of really good fights on the card. Thomas Asomba defended his European bantamweight title against Eli Conky. What a great fight this was, Akan.
Yes, it was. And it was a couple of 50-50 fights that I enjoyed a lot on this card. And now I've been to the GBM, both GBM shows in Sheffield last October and this show.
Can we not mention last October, please?
Especially in both these shows, that the crowd, for me, I think that when the tickets are more affordable, I think they get another type of crowd. So at ringside, it was pretty full really early, both in October and in last Friday. If you compare with the big shows, it takes about 3 hours until the fans are there, especially around ringside. So that part of the GBM I like a lot.
Yeah, I'm just going to put these comments up in the side under while they're there.
Well, no.
Jam's boxing chat says Liam Cameron was on fire. Love to see the big lad back. He's a great man who was so harshly treated, and I wish him nothing but the best from here on out. Andy did an interview with Liam Cameron on the channel. Check it out. Jack Gladman says GBM have a bigger budget. I'm assuming that then Boxer. Yep, so he clarifies. And then Lee Brown says, no, they don't. Laughing emoji. Bit of a spat there going on. James Boxing Chat says, if the future shows live up to Friday's show in Sheffield, then they're going to have a massive future in the boxing game for sure. Jack says the do mate. Their backer owns a Premier League football club, so that spat continues. Lee says, you are aware GBM and Boxer are closely linked, don't you? I don't mean there's still two different commercial entities, though, aren't they, Lee? So Jack Gladman says, yes, I worked at GBM first show, so know who backs them. Jam's Boxing Chat says the budget between Boxer and GBM is millions different, surely. So, Jack, not many people agreeing with you. Leigh says, yes, Boxer has a far bigger budget. Jack said a certain nation backs GBM. Leigh says, obviously. So there's a running feud between them two. Are we moving on, Andy, or do you want to cover a bit more of the GBM card?
Just a couple more notable fights on the card. Stevie Levy won a silver European title against Dorota Norek. 98-92 on the cards, 96-94, and an even card, 95-95. Hakan, you was ringside.
Yes.
Give me a straight, honest opinion how you thought Stevie Levy was in that fight.
I thought Stevie Levy was very good in this fight. I had her 7-3 or 6-4 in the fight, and I really enjoyed the fight, and I loved to see when she walked in with her son on the ring walk, and after the fight with her son. That story is great. Her story around this fight I like a lot. With her son, then that I saw them, that she was so happy after the fight and all interviews after. I like that a lot.
Yeah, she was very proud of her belt. I mean, we were quite late leaving because we were getting a couple of interviews around ringside, and she came out long after everyone had left. Most of the fighters had already gone, but it was her team that were one of the last to come out because they were chatting to family and getting interviews upstairs. And she'd still got that belt wrapped around her shoulder, mate. So she's very, very proud of it. Yes. Which you can't help but love that. The enthusiasm that she shows. She's absolutely balmy, though. Don't get me wrong. Watch our interview with her. I don't get a word in edgeways, but she's really funny with it. Daz, did you get to see any of this on the YouTube stream?
I saw a little bit. Saw bits and bobs. I watched Stevie's fight, to be fair.
What was your opinion on that?
I thought she deserved to win. And I'm glad she won. Because
there's a bit coming, Daz.
She's really nice, but I just worry for her at an higher level. I think she gets it too much, too easy. I was quite alarmed, to be fair, because she looked like she could have got Norek out of there, to be fair. Norek was giving all bad signs in corner. And I don't know. I think if Stevie had stepped on gas a little bit, she maybe could have got her out there, while Norek was already feeling a bit, probably sorry for herself. But then Norek had a probably best round in the 10th.
Yeah.
And that just shows you, if you let someone off hook, that could have come unstuck. But no, I'm glad for Stevie. She's a really hard worker. Do you know what I mean? And the little touch with her son as well was, really good. So, I was happy for her. But from a boxing point of view, I have to listen, I can't lie. I just worry that if she steps up a level, for a full European again, against someone who's a bit of a more of a puncher, she could be in a bit of bother.
First camp properly being trained under Dave. I know that he's managed her previously, but it's the first time he's trained her in a full camp. I saw improvements there, Daz. I think her boxing ability was much better. She was sharper. first time, like I say, first time with David. It'd be interesting to see what happens next time when they get another camp, when they've had more time together to see what changes. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more happy for her. You know, she. What I like about her is she wears her heart on her sleeve. She's very disappointed when she don't feel she performs, and obviously very happy when she does. Like, you know, getting that result. The emotion she showed afterwards was great to watch. That's what boxing's all about, right?
Yep.
Okay, I think Carl. I think swiftly moving on, mate.
So Bivol versus Beterbiev. Akam reliably informs us that no, that was Catrell, wasn't it? So this one's been confirmed for during the first insider. I honestly think any fight of this magnitude is now going to happen in Saudi Arabia, unfortunately. So it'll be interesting to. I mean, let's not spend too long on this because we will revisit it, but we'll have a quick round robin to give our thoughts on who's going to win this fight and why. I'll be looking at you first, Daz.
Beterbiev.
Why?
Too strong. Too strong. Too relentless.
I can.
I have Bivol winning on points. I haven't seen Bivol being challenged, even the Canelo fight. Even though it's not Canelo's weight class, light heavy, but I would like to, so I think that Bivol can handle Beterbiev's power and win on points.
Thank you. And
Carl, I've been one of these that has been lulled into a bit of a false sense of security, thinking that Beterbiev was on the slide. He's not on the slide, not one little bit. He showed against Callum Smith how relentless he was. I have one little question mark, and that is, I don't think he travels well because he wasn't the same fighter against Yard. Even though Yard performed very well, he wasn't the same fighter as he was against Smith. Which makes me wonder, does he travel to Saudi as well? Which makes me wonder, does he travel to Saudi as well?
can YouTube up. Cheers.
Which makes me wonder, does he travel to Saudi as well?
Cheers. Go on there.
Yeah, it makes me wonder whether does he travel to Saudi like he didn't travel to the UK too well. It's a very difficult fight. It's a very, very 50 fight. But I think Bivol's ring IQ and ring awareness and skill level will just get him over the line. I think a bit of points win for Bivol.
Jams Boxing, good evening. Thank you for joining us. So
my pleasure, mate.
No worries.
Good evening, Jams.
Hey guys, hi, I can.
Let's jump straight into it then. So Bivol, Beterbiev, who have you got and why?
I'm going to go for Bivol. I just think he's a more skillful boxer. Beterbiev could take him out if he gets the knockout, but I think Bivol's just a bit too slick and will just do what he done to Canelo and just outbox him for the 12 rounds.
Yeah, and that's what I think as well. I don't think Beterbiev is going to get near Bivol or fight.
I completely agree with you there, bro. 100%.
I'm out on my own here, aren't I?
You are, you.
And I agree with you.
Not at the last episode, Daz. So I want to rattle through some of these topics quite quickly now. So we'll move on to the next one. So rumours Canelo's going to fight Charlo or Benavidez. So Andy, I'll let you take this one away.
I don't understand the Charlo fight. Not why. What's the point? Why? Canelo's been known for fighting everybody and anybody that's worthy. So he should be fighting Haile Munguia next. He's the one that's done a number on the fighter that Canelo struggled to get rid of.
Why not Benavidez?
That's not going to happen for some time. Canelo's already stated, mate, he won't fight another Mexican. He wants to be the Mexican fighter. He stated that in an interview. That won't happen. Unless that's the only fight that's left on the table for him. It might be his last ever fight. That'd be a great way to go out, wouldn't it? But Munguia deserves that fight. Not Charlo.
That is 100% true.
So, Jams, who do you think is going to jump in with fella?
To be honest, mate, I don't know. It's just ridiculous at the minute, isn't it? You don't know what's going on. They were saying about Canelo fighting Benavidez. They were saying about Canelo fighting Charlo. They were saying about him fighting Munguia. Just get the good fights on, mate. That's all I can say. Just get some good fights on and let us enjoy the boxing that we paid the money for.
If you had to put your last pound on it, who's next?
It's going to be Jamal, isn't it? Charlo.
I have latest news.
Go on,
and Charlo has confirmed that he's not in talks with Canelo.
Yeah, I heard this as well.
And Canelo had ruled out a Mexican opponent. So what's left now? It's
Benavidez or Crawford.
Benavidez or Crawford. This is recently from Michael Benson.
Yeah, I've seen that already. Yeah, they blow a lot of hot air though, don't they? So I wouldn't rule out Charlo just yet because he's saying he's not fighting him. He's had no contact, but we all know they like to talk a lot of rubbish, don't they?
Yes.
Benavidez is the fight for me. Benavidez is the fight I want to see. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, definitely. And people forget he's American. Everyone thinks he's Mexican because his name's Benavidez, but he's actually an American.
Yeah.
So when he said, I'm not fighting a Mexican, doesn't mean he's ruling out Benavidez and Munguia.
Jams, he's American when it suits him to be. He's Mexican when it suits it to be. And in
1,000,000%.
In the fight against Canelo, it'll be Mexican, trust me.
Oh, I would be, mate. I'll fight him for £10 million. Let him knock me out in a round. I'll be very happy.
Won't we all, fella?
Yeah, 100%, brother, 100%.
So a couple of comments in the sidebar, Carl, before you get other opinions. Leigh Brown thinks that he's ducking Benavidez. Jack Gladman thinks it's going to be Canelo. Go on, crack on, mate.
Sorry, say that again, mate. It just cut out.
Right, so we'll move on from Canelo because we know we're still in the dark, aren't we? So I'm going to be on. I just want to rattle through. So the next one's Leigh Wood. Jams, me and Andy are both Nottingham lads. So, you know, that's why we've got affiliation with Leigh.
I love Leigh Wood.
Absolutely.
I'm a Leicester man.
Oh, you're not far away then. It's an absolute disgrace. I don't mind saying it on camera. Absolute disgrace that Nottingham Forest Football Club have not accommodated this fight.
Yeah. 100%. Leigh Wood should have had Forest in the palm of his hand, mate. You know what I mean? He's a massive fan of theirs. They should be a massive fan of him. He's a terrific fighter. He brings a big crowd. He's a top lad. They should have got it on.
Yeah, what we're in locally is the fact that they've got to take that concert, which, not naming no names, but Darren knows someone who might be going to that.
Name and shame, Daz, name and shame.
Yeah, well, I bloody married her.
Andy, I've come to you as an avid Notts Forest fan.
It's not. Let me stop you right there. It's not Notts Forest. It's Nottingham Forest. Carry on.
I'm an avid Notts Forest fan. What are your thoughts on the club regarding this statement?
I am, mate, a diehard fan. I'm disappointed. Is an understatement, to be honest. How they couldn't accommodate this, I really don't know. You don't get world champions that are fighting world champions like Leigh Wood. They don't come. They're not growing on trees. Yeah, Carl Froch is another one, but they're not growing on trees, are they? You know. They come around once a generation, if you look at. We've had two in quite close proximity in Leigh Wood and Carl Froch. Why the club have gone down this path and not sanctioned it, and not made it for whatever reason, blaming there's a concert on the week after, that wouldn't be a problem. That wouldn't be a problem. You could turn that around very easily if you wanted to.
do it on the Sunday.
I just don't get it, mate. I don't understand it. Leigh must be, and Leigh's a very respectful man, and he's a massive Forest fan, and he won't admit it, even if he is. But I'm sure he's absolutely gutted because
it's his dream, isn't it?
It's his dream. It's probably more important to him right at this point in his career than winning another world title.
And it's in his matchroom contract, wasn't it? He had it stipulated in his matchroom contract that his next fight is at the City Ground.
City Ground, yeah. Was it going to be the Warrington rematch? Was it?
It was.
It was, yeah.
So let's move on to the next point. So I'll come to you first, Jams. Where would you take Leigh Wood next?
Oh, I don't even know, because obviously Warrington's not going to want it anywhere else because there's not going to be enough paper involved, is there?
No.
So I genuinely don't know, mate. I just want to see him do big things because he's such a good lad. He's such a great fighter, and he deserves better than he's getting treated at the moment.
What about Cordina?
Yeah, I think he beats Cordina, hands down.
Oh, that's a big shot.
I think he does. I think he schools him. I think he probably gets a late stoppage. I really do. I rate Leigh Wood higher than most in the boxing game at the minute. He's an absolute beast, man. He can be being dominated for 5-6 rounds and still get that knockout. You know, he's one of them. That's a dangerous man to have, just like Cole Froch against Jermaine Taylor.
Yeah.
You know,
Cordina is fighting Kakashi in Saudi May 18th. So,
Cordina.
So that rules that one out.
Yeah. Andy, what would you do with him next?
Right, so there are options, Carl. I saw a comment in the sidebar from Jack Gladman, take him to Vegas. I'd certainly, if I was Leigh Wood, and it was my career that we were talking about, there's one thing that hasn't been ticked off on his box, and that is a big fight in the States. Doesn't have to be Vegas, Madison Square Garden even. But there are some big world champions out there, mate. I mean, I don't know if you remember this, Carl. We interviewed Leigh just after he won the British title. And he was calling out Emmanuel Navarrete then.
Yeah.
Saying he's got the game plan already. He knows how to beat him. Let's see that. Let's see that over in Vegas. For the WBO. Sorry, Hakan.
Yeah.
For the WBO title, let's see that against Navarrete. You've also got Lamont Roach for the WBA. I don't know if either of these lads have got fights lined up, by the way. And then there's the WBC for Shaka Foster. They're all possible. They're all makeable. But obviously Leigh's going to be going out of his comfort zone, and he'll be the away fighter.
I want him to go to Saudi and earn as much money as possible, and just walk into the sunset, having made an absolute fortune. That's what I want.
You've just read my mind there. I was going to say exactly the same thing, mate. Honestly, I was going to say, I hope he gets a Saudi fight and goes and makes some big money before his career's over. Go and get that paper, man.
Why wouldn't
he deserves it?
Why wouldn't they have him on the matchroom versus Queensbury 5 versus 5?
Who's he got to fight on Queensbury though, Carl?
I won't know, to be honest. I wouldn't know. But I'm sure there's someone who he can jump in with.
He's above everyone that Queensbury have got at the minute. Everyone at Queensbury at that weight is kind of coming through prospects. They're not there yet.
Time fighters, though, can't they?
Anthony Kakash.
True.
You know what's signing a fight on a one-fight deal when he knows he's going to pick a big bag of loot up inside there?
I mean, true. There is that.
Daz, from a boxing coach's perspective, where would you take him next?
Where the most money is.
Yeah.
If
it's going to be Warrington next, I think he's got to draw a line under the Nottingham Forest thing. I think
it's ain't going to be Warrington, mate. Leigh Wood's already said if it doesn't happen at the City Ground, there's no point fighting Warrington.
Why though?
Because why would he need to? What does he gain? Yeah, it makes money. It makes money, Daz. I get that, but he's already sold out an arena fighting him. You don't need to sell out another arena to fight him. He's already beat him. He's got nothing to prove. He knocked him out cold.
It could be Ellen Road, though. Why not go to Ellen Road and shut all them Leeds fans up? That would be class, wouldn't it?
Yeah, why not?
But why? But why? Why not? Why not?
No.
Why not go? Yeah, I get that, but why not go? Lee Wood's not just about dough, though, is it? He's proved that already. He's not just about money. It wouldn't surprise me if Leigh Wood, now he knows the City Ground fight is done, he's turned his sights on to become a 2-weight world champion.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate. From a point of view of a trainer, if he's not money motivated at this stage in his career, when he retires, he'll wish he were.
He is.
He's not. No, Daz. I'm not saying he won't want to take big money fights. I'm saying he's not just money motivated.
Well, I mean, with the big fights, the money comes, mate. You know that. And
Yeah.
As it should do. I mean, he's got. Listen, I think it's criminal that he's not getting the fight at the City Ground. I really do. And I apologise that my other half has had a part to play in that.
Absolutely disgraceful.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that we have to blame her for this.
Yeah, she's not here. She's at work, so I can.
Oh, is she all right?
Oh, I was saying that thinking she was in the room. But
Jack, when you get married, mate, you'll realise slag them off when they're not here.
That's right,
yeah.
You're the bravest man in the world when they're not there, aren't you?
Yeah, even though she'll probably watch this. But it's he's got to go where money is, and listen, and it's a good shot, Ellen Road. He don't need to. He's got nothing to prove. What I will say though, from the point of view with the Warrington fight, is I've got no issue with the ending whatsoever. None at all. None at all. I mean, Josh's dad was on the ring apron. He's about to call it, or well, the bell went, didn't it? Sorry. So
he didn't know where he was, Dad, did it?
No, he didn't know. So that's there is some unanswered questions. Let's be totally honest about it.
He's had them all his career, though, Dad, hasn't he?
I mean, with the Warrington fight, because you've got argument. Listen, I've got no issue with the ending at all, but there is that bone of contention that people say, well, it should have been given the minute. I don't agree with that. So there is these things, and I would like personally to see Leigh fight Josh again, put on a better performance, and then that's put to bed.
Let's be honest, though, Daz. If you look hard enough in most fights, you'll find controversy if you want to find it.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, of course you will. I think this situation with City Ground has left him in a bit of limbo, if I'm honest. And it's not fair to him. He deserves better.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, it was his dream, wasn't it? It was his dream to fight at the City Ground, and every young lad who's done as well as Leigh Wood should get his dream.
The thing I don't like, Jams, is the fact that they kept promising it after most fights. So he beat Reece Mould. You've just got to win a world title, or you got to beat Richard Lara, and then you'll get it. He beats Lara. Oh no, not quite there yet.
Does it all,
and he still don't get it.
Still not good enough. It's terrible, isn't it? It's a shame. It really is a shame.
And it's that fight at City Ground is going to generate massive amounts of money.
Not only for the fighters, though, for the area of Nottingham, right?
And for the football club. The football club will make go out of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to living.
Did you guys pick up on the thing I said in the comments? Just the last thing on that.
I don't tend to read your post, to be honest with you, Jack. So
What did you say, Jack? Go on.
Just about the second Froch Groves fight took place 48 hours after England played. And Wembley managed to get their pitch sorted.
My last comment on that is also City Ground had a new pitch laid last year to purposely allow for these such events to take place, and it's still not taking place. So what's all that about?
Okay,
it's granted that we do. It is, Jack. I mean, I'm a Forest fan, and I don't like any criticism of my club, like no other football fan does of theirs. But at the end of the day, they're out of order. Straight and simple. They're out of order.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on because time's pressing. So, Catterall versus Taylor's now been confirmed. Thank you to our Swedish correspondent, Akan. So, I think it's only right that we let Akan take this one away first. Akan, prediction time then. How does this fight go? Who wins? Talk to us.
I go for revenge for Catterall on points on a close decision.
I do like the way Akan's direct. There's no messing around with him. We just told you how it is. Andy could learn a lot. Daz, come on. Come on, Daz. Give us your breakdown. Who wins?
I think Josh Taylor.
You can tell when you've got a quality fight, can't you? Because it splits people. So
yeah. I think Josh is going to win this. Even I mean, on his last performance, it wasn't great. I think this could reignite the fire in his belly, big time. I mean, they've been going back and forth at each other for what seems forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just got a sneaky feeling that Josh Taylor's going to win this fight.
Jams, coming on to you, fella.
Okay, mate. I think Jack Catterall's going to knock him out this time, personally.
Wow.
I really do. I think he's going to stop him late on, around the 9th or 10th. I think he's going to be that angry, but not in a way that ruins his boxing. And he's going to be that fed up with the smack talk over the last 2 years that he's going to go out and just take his bloody head off. And I hope he does as well, because it was a robbery in that first one.
It was.
Honestly, one of the worst decisions I've ever seen. Right up there with the worst.
Not Warrington's fault, though, right?
No, of course. But
do you mean Taylor?
Taylor. Yeah. Taylor, not Taylor's fault.
Yeah, Catterall takes him out for me, mate.
He put himself in glory after the fight, though, did he? Josh Taylor, with his comments, either.
No.
Do you know what,
he's not really moved on, has he? He's not really carried on and done anything, has he? He lost to T.O. He's not really done much.
Do you know what, though, lads, right? I'll be honest with you. From what I've seen on Twitter, Jack Catterall's not been a saint. With some comments, he's
been giving it Johnny Biggins, hasn't he?
He's had to goad him, though, hasn't he? I think he's had to goad him to get him in the ring, though, Daz.
No, not just Jack as well. Jack's manager, Sam Jones, has been chirping in as well, giving it to Josh. And listen, I'm old school. I think, Josh's comments after the fight were, ridiculous. The decision were even more ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I think Josh deserves a little bit more respect than he's sometimes got off Jack and Sam. But this fight should have happened sooner than it is actually doing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it's happening. It needed to happen.
A lot of people are actually sick of hearing it, isn't there? To be honest, a lot of people are sick of hearing about it.
There's a danger of people getting bored about it, aren't there?
Yeah, it's kind of sad with the event. It should have been huge 2 years ago, but it's kind of now.
Nail on head. You've hit nail on head every time I see them tagging each other and stuff. It's like skip that one and move on. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Jack, what about you? How do you see this one going?
I'm gonna be really annoying.
No, really?
Yeah, really annoying. I actually think this is so close to call. I think it's going to end up as a draw, and we're going to end up with a third one, which means we're probably going to wait another 2 years.
Well, that'll make the money at least for him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, yeah.
It'd be a good shot, Jack, that, to be fair.
I actually I know it would be really annoying if that does happen, and I don't want it to happen, but I just have visions of that happening because I think it's so close.
Okay, and
just before I do, mate, I just want to answer a comment in the sidebar from JDM, who's asked if Leigh Wood's vacated his title. Yes, he has. He's moved up to super feather. There was no way he's making featherweight again. He killed himself last time out. Right, my comments on this. 2 years in the making is ridiculous for this fight. It should have been ordered and forced straight after that first fight. The scorecards were absolutely disgraceful, like Jams has already said. I mean, we've gone over this 1,000,001 times. It wasn't Josh Taylor's fault. The scorecards. He lost the fight. His comments straight after. He should have thought about it a little bit more. But what we forget about that little bit, guys, is he's just gone 12 rounds against a really, really good fighter, and he gets a camera and a mic shoved under his nose straight away. What's he going to do? What's he going to?
Damn boxing journalists, pain in the arse.
What's he going to say though, guys? Seriously though, what's he going to say in the middle of the ring? He's just been given a decision on the scorecards. Is he going to turn around and say, "I'm sorry, Jack Catterall won that fight. I shouldn't have my belt"? Of course he's not.
White as that. He could have been a bit more humble, couldn't he? Let's be
maybe Cole. But like I said, camera, mic. Couple of minutes after you've just had a really odd fight, I can forgive him a little bit. At the time I slated him, but the more I think about it, you can forgive him a little bit for that. Back to what I think happens now. I think Jack Catterall has been bubbling for 2 years. He's not been able to move on. He hasn't had the big fight since, which is deserved, quite rightly deserved. But to be honest with you, would he have been focused on another fight? Because he hasn't put this to bed. This gets put to bed, and in my opinion, and I'm a massive fan of Josh Taylor. I always have been. Carl will tell you that. I was singing his praises years ago. I think the stars are aligned, and I think Jack Catterall does a number on him this time. I think he schools him. I don't think Josh Taylor's the fighter he has been. I think Jack Catterall gets a quite comfortable points decision.
Okay, I'll give my version now. So I think Josh Taylor, the candle's still burning bright in Josh Taylor because he won the belt during lockdown. You don't think he got the prestige that he deserved or the exposure. I think he took Catterall quite lightly in that fight. I think he come in slightly underprepared. So I think he's going to give a not a career best performance, but I think he'll be up there. So I think he beats Catterall. I think he's a level above Catterall, if I'm being brutally honest. If they're both on their A game, I think Taylor's more classy than Catterall. So I'm going for Taylor to stop Catterall round 10. I think he'll have just a little bit too much for him. So, last topic of the night, we're going a bit light-hearted with this one because obviously Andy slipped in a bit about John Fury versus Carl Froch last week, so carrying that theme on. Wayne Rooney. The fight this is gathering momentum. Allegedly, is in talks for this fight to happen. And the more I think about it, the more I could possibly see this being pulled off because Rooney used to box as a kid. He needs to lose a bit of timber, don't get me wrong, but...
By all accounts, Wayne was half decent.
Yeah, I've heard that.
He was a very good amateur. Very good as an amateur.
His brother, Graham, were even better, apparently.
So it's all about a pound note, let's be honest. So... Jams, I'll come to you first. What are your thoughts on Misfits? Because we've not had John before. And
to be honest, I find it a joke, but it puts eyes on the game, so it can only be good in that sense.
Disagree.
I only like it because it puts eyes on the game, which puts money in the game, which brings
no, it don't, mate.
That don't normally come.
It does.
No, it don't. He don't.
Trust me, having spoken to managers this afternoon, it does.
Why did he put money into the game then?
Because I know of at least one fighter who's trained by a friend of mine who gets trained now for free because he's also training a Misfits fighter who and so can afford to train the pro for free.
But that's not the same. That's not the same. Jack, that's not the same question.
Ryan Garcia
because now he's not paying
fighter, and he's fighting Devin Haney soon. These are all social media stars who are boxing.
Jams, make your point again, fella, because we didn't try get it.
Yeah. Ryan Garcia is basically a social media star, and he's fighting Devin Haney.
He's not a YouTube boxer, though. He's not a YouTube boxer.
He's not quite a YouTube boxer, but he's well known on social media, mainly for being a social media influencer rather than a boxer originally. He had 2 million views before his first fight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
He's just another one. It just brings eyes to the game. I know it's ridiculous, and I don't agree with it myself, but they do put bums on seats at these shows. And if you get like a KSI involved, as poor as his boxing is, giving it the old tornado jobber, it's pathetic to watch, but it does bring 2 million, 3 million viewers. Which can only help the sport of boxing.
I'll tell you,
Jams. Let me ask you this, Jams. Let me ask you this, right? Yes, these shows. It looks like the arenas are full from the very first bell at 7 o'clock. That part is really good, right? I wish mainstream boxing had the same thing, and people didn't just turn up for the main headliner.
Yeah.
I disagree with you that it puts any more eyes on boxing, proper boxing, than are already on it. Because if you look at the figures from matchroom shows, from pay-per-views, none of that has gone up and improved. You don't get 2 million pay-per-views for a card. You don't get 2 million people watching Sky TV shows. You don't get 2 million people watching DAZN. That's not changed. None of that's changed. So all of these people that watch this YouTube stuff are only watching it because it's their YouTuber. They're not watching it for any other reason. And they don't then go, oh, I tell you what I'll do. I'll watch a proper boxing card now. They don't do that.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Although statistically, Billy Joe's pay-per-view rate went up after fighting on the KSI Logan Paul thing.
Jack, was that because he fought Canelo by any chance?
No, but I mean, I'm not talking about the Canelo fight. I'm talking about the fight between.
I'll be honest, lads. I can't be doing with these boxers who plaster their things all over social media. It does me head in.
Way of the world now, though, doesn't it?
No, I
the
can't
only
be
way
doing
nowadays, isn't it? Really?
I can't
So
be doing
You know what? I quite like it because it means I can. It means I can at least have a look at someone if they're a debut.
You've missed the irony there, haven't you?
I didn't, Daz.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've gone off his head there, hasn't it? Now
It's just the nails just dropped. Yeah.
What I'll say, what I'll say, right? I'll say this: if they stay in their own lane, fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's when you start getting these guys that are YouTube boxers thinking they can take on world champions and start calling out Canelo and saying that in 2 years' time he's going to beat Canelo. What's that all about? That's just ridiculous. Stupid comment. Do you know what I mean?
I like it to the WWE of boxing. That's what I like it to. The WWE of boxing.
Did you see? And honestly, I got shown it. Did you see Ellie Brooks KO?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
on
I've
that
seen
last
that.
Misfit show. I'll tell you what, mate. These
I don't watch them, to be honest.
These professional. Well, I just got shown it off a friend. But these professional boxers that would have been happy with that.
Yeah, but it does take it into context. Who was she fighting?
Oh yeah, listen, someone at the same level that she is, you know. But...
The only thing I would say, Daz, is I've been to a few of them because with my daughter. And what I'd say is there is parts of the product that mainstream boxing can learn from, and that's marketing themselves.
Yeah.
I enjoy all the build up to it, and I do use the word enjoy, but the product when they get inside the ring is absolutely dreadful.
It's embarrassing.
I mean, some of the matches I've liked.
But I'll say the press conference, the way they market themselves, the endorsements. How many times have we known boxers have got all the skills in the world, but they can't talk and they can't market themselves, and they end up leaving the game penniless?
Yeah, it happens
100%.
all too often.
So there's that part of it.
There's a point in what you're saying there, Cole, because you can be a quality boxer, and there's hundreds of them on the small old scene, by the way.
Exactly.
You can be a quality boxer, and if for whatever reason you don't sell tickets, you're not getting on any shows. Simple as. You're not going to get picked up by a big promoter, because Eddie Hearn, that's one of Eddie Hearn's things now. Is he'll look at how marketable the fighter is, and he'll look at how many tickets that fighter sells.
And let's have it right, and there's a reason why DAZN keep having Misfits boxing on their channel, because of the numbers it's pulling in.
Well, the fact that DAZN are advertising misfit shows in the middle of a main boxing card is absolutely disgraceful.
Why?
It shows Eddie Hearn's all about the paper,
Why?
doesn't it? It shows
Why?
all he cares about is money.
I don't really understand why it's disgraceful. It's just another product on his own. Why is it disgraceful?
Because they should be keeping them separate, Carl.
But they are. They only advertise on the show. So.
Well, that's not keeping them separate, then, is it?
Well, it is because
Yeah, but they also advertise the Women's Champions League.
And then you got them interviewing the likes of KSI ringside at main fights. It's just not on, mate.
Annoying.
No, that is a joke.
Numbers,
That is a joke.
commercial.
That is a
It's
joke.
just not on, though, Carl.
And you
From
also,
a
you also have main.
From a boxing, yeah, but you've asked my opinion. You've asked my opinion from a boxing purist point of view. I don't want to see it.
Well, also talk to Mark Tibbs and people like that. Then who are training misfit boxers, giving it credit.
Yeah, they are doing, and that's wrong. They're training misfit boxers because somebody's walked in with a bag full of money and go, "There you go. Can you train me, please?"
Can you blame him? I just don't see the harm in it.
I would if they gave me a bag full of cash. I'd do it if I was Mark Tibbs, definitely. Unfortunately, money talks, doesn't it? Money talks in every walk of life.
What's the harm in it, Jams? What's the harm in it? As long as you don't start jumping in with mainstream boxers.
Yeah, but that's my Carl. That's my concern. Is that eventually they're going to bleed into each other.
And then when one of them gets hurt, it's going to be, boxing's too dangerous, head guard,
Yeah,
and all that bullshit.
exactly that, mate. Exactly that.
I don't think they'll ever have it.
I hope not.
I don't
It's
think they'll
ruining the
ever
sport
have it.
for everyone that loves it, you know.
That's
the worry. Where's the line? You know what I mean? Where's the line between one and another?
I think Misfits boxing's got a shelf life. I don't think he'll be here forever. That's my honest opinion, because when the likes of KSI have gone,
and Jake Paul and Logan, they'll be finished.
Who's going to take that mantle on?
Well, the rest of them are no good, are they? They're the only ones who have got even a slight bit of pedigree, aren't they? You know?
I just don't. So I think it's just a show. I think it's just a bit of it. Not a fad. That's the wrong word for it because it's earning too much money. But
Let's get Akan's point of view, Carl. Let's get Akan's point of view. Akan, what do you think on all this misfit stuff?
I give the misfit stuff a pass always. So I haven't watched a show of misfits.
Does it concern you that DAZN are keeping so many dates a year, so many Saturday nights a year to one side for this misfits product, and you're getting there's hundreds of boxers on smaller shows, deserve to be on bigger shows, but they're not going to get that chance because these dates are getting taken up by misfits. Those dates could be put on another. If they wasn't going to give them to Matchroom and they wasn't going to give them to Golden Boy, they could put them on another broadcaster, another platform, and have some really good small shows to show fans that generally don't watch small shows that level of fighter, because there's some brilliant fighters on small.
Yeah, I agree. It concerns me that the misfit gets so much on DAZN and so much on. So for me, I think that I'm pretty disappointed on Wasserman Boxing that they promote these shows more than their own shows.
It's money.
I know it's money.
When Barney Francis took over Sky and you had the likes of, you had Ricky Hatton doing small all shows, Warren doing small, they used to rotate it between five of them. It didn't pull no figures in. Why do you think Eddie Hearn got the monopoly of it, who then built it to a big brand? Nobody watches small halls, do they? Only boxing hardcore, let's be honest.
And that's not a large crowd anymore, unfortunately.
If you're sat there as a TV executive at DAZN and you got Misfits pulling in 20 million views and a small hall show pulling in 2 million, if you look at, I'm sorry,
20,000 if you look at it a minute.
You know what though, Carl? That's very, very narrow-minded. That concept is very narrow-minded.
Money talks. It's commercial.
Yeah, but it's narrow-minded because they're not thinking about the future. They're thinking about the here and now.
Not there.
You've already said. Hold on. Let me finish. You've already said you think this misfits boxing don't last. It hasn't got legs. So They're putting all this money and all this airtime into this product. Yeah, it sells and it makes them loads of money right now. What about the future?
If he goes pop, then they'll fall back onto the small all show.
Small old show might not be there. It struggles that much right now. It might not be there.
It's survived this long.
Mate, we've had promoters, we've had management on our show. We've had conversations at shows. You know full well they hardly make any money. Sometimes they don't even break even.
Those fighters
I'll
have
be
to sell
honest,
their own
there's
ticket
a
now just to get
few-
even, don't they?
There's
And
a
it's such
few
a shame.
small promoters now who are starting to get back in though, and they'll be around. The small, they might not be small hall for very long. There's a few that are starting to get back in that will almost be like a middle ground between the two, between TV and small hall.
Well, GBM's one of them, isn't it, Jack? At the minute, they're kind of
GBM is at the moment, and that's not really down to the backing side of it. That's more down to they're trying to establish themselves. GSW is another one. I'm trying to think. There is a third one, but I can't think what it is. What it is at the minute. Well, I'd almost argue Hobson's has become a bit like that because
he's got his new arena now, hasn't he, Jack? He's got his Fight Zone arena now, hasn't he?
Oh, has he got that now in the end?
Yeah, it's
In
I was speaking
Sheffield.
to him yesterday, but I never asked about that.
Hey, lads, I've got to shoot anyway because my phone's about to die. But
Yeah,
lovely
cheers.
speaking to you all. You guys take care, yeah?
Yeah, cheers.
Take care, Jams.
Stay blessed, fellas.
Take care, guys.
But by the way, Andy, can I just ask you a question? Because I had an argument with someone on Twitter about this the other day. Please tell me you don't class Vidal Riley as an influencer boxer.
No.
Right, good. Okay, you're on my side here. Thank you. Because somebody was trying to argue because the whole KSI training KSI thing. I was like, no, he was like, did he not win the ABAs or something, or get to the final of the ABAs or something mad?
Well,
And
he's
like,
proved, mate. He's proved himself, hasn't he? He's been on enough pro fight cards now. He's proved himself to be a pro fighter.
well, yeah, but I think he was a good amateur as well. Like, it's not like he had no amateur background. He was a top class amateur. I just got into a debate with someone the other day, and I wanted somebody to validate my view here.
I get it. I get there's enough people, Carl. I get the fact that it's commercially viable. I get that. I don't like it. I never will. I never will, and I'll never watch it. I won't watch Wayne Rooney fight. I won't watch anybody fight. I won't watch if my favourite all-time Forest player decided to stick a pair of gloves on, I won't watch that either. It's not about that for me. It's about protecting the legacy of boxing because this damages it.
I would argue there is something that damages it more. People like Danny Williams continuing to box.
Yeah, but that's down to people allowing him to, Jack.
I'm fully aware of that, and that's people within boxing. Not on the British side, I'd like to point out. No one in Britain is saying that's a good idea. But someone in some far-flung country that's allowing that to happen is way worse for boxing than anything Misfits.
It's sad to see because...
Yeah, because Danny was a very good fighter.
Listen, I know that. I shared the ring with him.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that.
in sparring. Shared the ring with him.
Just to clarify, I did say the product was shocking when it gets inside the ring, but I just admire it for its commercial viability and what they've built outside the ring.
From the business perspective is what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Yes. So on that note, I'm going to bring the show to an end. So thank you for all the comments in the sidebar. Much appreciated. Same time next week, 7 p.m. Thank you to the new superstar coach that is Dan Nedkoff. No doubt we'll be starting to get invoices in the post now for his time. Thank you.
That's an idea.
Yeah. Thank you, Akan. Much appreciated. Thank you for joining the show. Jack, thank you for joining the show. And thank you as ever for joining the show. This has been Last World Boxing, proudly sponsored by LW Lifting Limited and SC Travel. We'll catch you next week.